Hello everybody, this is Mokasar, and I'm coming with you with a new series talking about making real life trees in Minecraft. Now the first tree we're going to tackle in this series is one of my favorite trees, which is the Swamp Cypress. The Latin name is Taxodium, and it's a really beautiful tree. I'll put some pictures on so you can see. And what makes this tree so special is that it's one of the few trees that exist in the water. And because of this, it has these air roots, which I will also show in a picture. Now, as a landscape architect, I really like trees, and there are a lot of trees that don't exist in Minecraft, and if they exist in Minecraft, they are of course very simplified, because they have to be. So I thought it was a cool challenge to pick some of my favorite trees and to see if I can recreate them in Minecraft. Now, where this tree would exist, as the name suggests, would be in a swamp. And this could be a very cool tree to have in your swamp next to a witch hut, a cottage, or whatever. And I really like it. First, let's talk about the blocks I've used, and then we're going to recreate it. So for the base, so that's the bottom of the tree, we're using acacia wood. We're using different tough blocks that are coming in 1.21, and we're using the tough wall for the air roots, which are those things that I talked about. Then further up, where the tree wouldn't be wet anymore, we're using stripped spruce log for the trunk and packed mud for some variety in texture. Then onto the branches, we're using spruce fences, gates, and different forms of packed mud, and some spruce trapdoors. And for the leaves, we're using acacia leaves, though you could also use birch leaf if you prefer. I wouldn't use spruce leaves, since the leaves of this tree are actually pretty light. And since we want to recreate it, we try to make it look as much as it like possible. What I wouldn't also use for the same reason are oak leaves or anything else that has like a bigger leaf size, since the leaves of these trees are quite small. So let's look first at the tree without leaves. Here you can get a better insight on the general shape of the tree. And I also think that if you're making a tree yourself, it's good to first start with the general shape, where the branches are going to be, and how you want it to look, because the branches can be a quite interesting feature, and if you start with the leaves immediately, then you get lost in all these detail that you do not want. So you know what, let's just get started, and then I'll explain more as we go. So let's get started with the base. I've grabbed everything for the main trunk, the main shape. We're gonna make this tree around 40 blocks high, because this tree can reach around 40 to 45 meters in its natural habitat. In other habitats where it's not native, it will reach around 30 meters. But yeah, let's just get started. I've made this circle with water. Since this tree normally exists in water, I thought that was a cool base. And the circle that will help us later, since then we can look from the top to see if we make this tree somewhat circular, since all trees are somewhat circular. But yeah, let's just get started. First, yeah, let's just go up. We'll try to make it around 40 blocks high. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Occasionally, we're going to make the tree a bit irregular, so that so it has a bit more interesting shape, and most trees are not perfectly they're not perfectly straight, so feel free to play with that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, let's make it like every 5 to 10 blocks or so we'll change the direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's change it right now to this side. 9. So we're at like 19. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, we're going out again. Just do this on feeling, and that's what I'm doing. And let's change it one more time. And then let's see how many blocks we have. Okay, so that's about the right height. I get that can be a bit of a boring detail to people, but me as a landscape architect, I actually think it's quite interesting to make things as they're supposed to be. So we have the main trunk in place. So let's add the base. So we've created the main trunk. Now let's go on to the base of the trunk, which is of course much wider, and that's one of the interesting parts about this tree, since it needs this for its stability. So this seems about the right height. I'm using my existing trees a bit as a guide. But yeah, if you don't, of course you don't have that, but just you can use this video as a guide, of course. So let's just go out here. Let's say here 4 blocks high. Let's say here 3 blocks high. Change it up with 4 blocks. And then we can change this. So put in some stairs. Occasionally you can put in a slab, maybe not here, but say here and here, and we'll try to make it a bit circular. So we'll put some here and here. So we're just going to continue creating this general shape until we have something we're happy with. Now don't forget, in the water. That's the nice thing about this tree, that it exists in the water and not on the grass. You can make it on the grass, like on a shore, something like that. But just remember, this is a swamp tree. It needs a lot of water. So where it would be most at home would be a wet environment. But just do this on feeling. And later we'll put in the air roots that you can see there. And always remember to go back and see if this is a shape you're happy with. Always look at it from every side. You always have to go back and in again and change it to whatever you want. I think this is a bit too close together, so let's change it. And then yeah, let's change the roots a bit. We're gonna put in the stripped spruce, put in some packed mud. Just try to make it look interesting, like a bit gradual. So yeah, let's just change it to stripped spruce and packed mud. So of course it's hard to make an exact tutorial for trees because they're so organic. It's not like a house, there's not a floor plan for the tree. But they're always, I think they're very fun to build. Of course, if you're building this in survival, would advise you to grab, well, a lot of bamboo, a lot of scaffolding, things like that, so you can easily recreate something like this. Now I think, yeah, this height is good. So let's look at from this. It's not exactly straight, so that's cool. And now from this side, yeah, I think I'm happy with that. So now we'll move on to the branches. So let's go and create our general shape of the tree. So we'll grab everything we need for the branches. As you can see, right here, this is our palette for the branches. So we'll create our spruce fences, spruce trapdoors, and our mud brick stairs, and our mud brick walls. And that will be all we need to create some nice looking branches. Now what I would advise you to do is first we'll start in 2D. Let's first see around where we want our branches to go. Now I'll try and put a picture of it, and then you can see how this, how these branches exist in the tree in real life. They're not very straight, but that's what's so cool about it. It's this very wild, organic looking tree. And it's just very cool. So it's not exactly like a spruce tree where it's this perfectly pyramid shape, you would call it. So it's way more straight. So I'll make some branches, and then I'll check in with you later. So I'll just grab some slabs, some stairs, and we'll just go out. First we'll create a general shape that we want to create with the slabs, and this is why we made a circle, so we know how far we have to go, because how big we want our tree to be. Here we go a bit up, then like this. Let's break this. Now let's grab some fences and let's put it like that. Now we'll grab some fences for the top. What's also a great tool is of course the trapdoors, because you never, how more organic you want it to look, the better. And trapdoors create this very cool organic shape, and you can really play with it. And there's not a right way to do it, and there's not a wrong way to do it. Just try and use your feeling for it. And for the bottom, we're using these fences to go down. So let's go like this. Occasionally you can use a fence to go out. I don't think that looks bad, but let's connect it a bit more. Let's use some stairs where we're able to. We can also use some slabs to have some variety. Here, let's I think that looks good. Yeah, so I'll make I'll finish all the branches in the in this part, and then I'll check in on you. Hey, welcome back. And now we've created a tree in a 2D shape, so you can get a feel of the general outline. Now I would advise you to do the same. First, create your tree in 2D, because it really helps you with the general shape. And now we're going to work to make the tree a bit more three-dimensional. So we're just gonna start at a branch. We're just going to go out how it started. So we'll just create the shape next to it. So we'll just go like this, and we'll follow the guide we've just created, and we'll just continue like that. And that's why we have to circle also, so you know how far you can go out, to really help you create the shape of a general tree. Like I said, it's not like this tree is perfectly cylindrical, so you can always change it a bit, play with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it's probably better if it's not perfect, since, well, trees don't follow an exact plan. So we're just going to keep following the guide that we've created here. We'll put the fence gates, the fences in the same spot. Just try and think, okay, we'll keep the 2D place the same, but we're just adding a dimension to it. I think that's about right. So here you went one out, but let's just go like this, and then always look it from more sides. I get this, it would be more of a challenge if you would do it in survival. If you do that, it will take you much longer. It can be worth it though. I wouldn't create an entire forest of these things in survival though. That would be a lot of work. But who knows, maybe it's worth it to you. It will definitely look cool. So yeah, let's just delete some of the ones we've created. Delete this. And so we've created the first branch in 3 dimensions. Now let's go to the branch next to it. And when you go to the next branch, go on the opposite side. So we made this one in this way. So for this one, just go the opposite way. So yeah, let's just bring it out like this, like this, like this. And just continue on that way, just like the branch before. Use the one you created as a guide. You can always change some things if you don't like how it looks. Like I said before, it's not an exact science. So here I think it would look better if I use a stair instead of a slab. And like I said, it is good to work 2D first, because it really helps you create the type of shape you want to create. And now let's delete the old branch. So we'll go like this. Delete everything you don't need anymore. Now what you might also do is create some branches that go out like this. Yeah, just keep playing with it until it's a shape you like. Now you can see here we have two branches ready. They're on opposite sides, so that opposite side, always keep that in mind. You don't want to keep it in two sides. You don't want to make it too similar. So for the next branch, we'll go out like this, and for that branch, yeah, just go out like this. And then I'll keep working on these branches, and then I'll talk to you later. Okay, so we made branches a bit more three-dimensional, as you can see, also from the top. So you can already see that the tree is getting way more its shape that it's supposed to have. But of course, we're not done yet. So now that we've added the branches here, we can start adding the branches on this side, because if you look here, the tree is still quite flat from this side. So let's just start adding the branches on this side, and just like that. You don't want the branches too close to each other. So this branch we're going to, let's just make this one immediately in 3D. You already got the training from our last branches, so we know how we want them to look somewhat. So just go out like this, use slabs first as a guide. That's always a good idea, to just create the shape you want first with simple blocks, and then later you can always change it. That's the nice thing about creating a tree. Nothing is exact. So you will just like the other branches, just some things will Yeah, some things will replace with trapdoors, with fences on the top. Just use some feeling for it. The thing is with this tree, it has quite droopy leaves, so we'll focus the branches more to the bottom than on the top. And here we'll add a fence gate. We'll change some of the slabs for spruce, just for some added texture. This can be a stair. And that's that branch done. And we'll do this just like at the other places. Just in the entirety for this site. And again, I'll talk to you when you're done. And once we're done with that, we'll get started on the leaves. And then we're almost done. And welcome back. And we've added all the main branches. And now you can see that the tree is already way more full. What's good is at this stage, just look a bit, what does the tree need, where doesn't it have as much branches, and just keep adding them. Eventually you'll have to stop, of course, for your sanity mostly. But just keep trying, see where it really lacks something. And when you add the leaves, you can always add more or remove things. Just look, what does the tree need? What do you think? How do you think it will look better? So like here, just add some slabs, some and some fences, things like that. And you can just continue on making it look better. So here I think there's a bit too much space, so let's just create another branch that's going out of it. And then some fences that going lower. And we'll just continue a bit. Now I'll put the world download in the description so you can look at the trees yourself, or you can copy them with world edit for your creative world, whatever you like. Of course, the things that I'm showing you in this video, they're focused on this specific tree, but I feel I hope people can take some lessons to pick a tree they themselves really like and maybe create their own tree. Of course, if you want to build, just want to copy this tree, that's perfectly fine. So I think that's good for the branches and for the trunk. Now let's add some extra detail before we start with the leaves. So like I said, what this tree has all these cool air roots, which really make it a very cool, unique tree that not many have. The only tree in Minecraft that has it is the mangrove tree, but that's a very different tree. In general, you just want a bit more of the walls near the base of the tree and fewer at the end. And then sometimes you can make them a bit taller by adding a block, adding another wall. And sometimes you can add a fence, whatever you like, whatever looks good to you. This step is quite easy. As you can see, we're just adding some walls and adding some blocks. If you really want to, you could also make it underwater, a bit like the root system continues. Would be more realistic, though I don't know how many people even see. So I think that's good for a base. Oh, let's add some more fences here. Some more walls. And yeah, then let's start on the leaves. So this step, the one thing you need is your leaf block and your and some fences maybe, for if you want to make some adjustments. You focus the leaves at first mostly on the outside of the branches. In the tree, it's what you have to keep in mind is leaves grow where there is sunlight. So that's mostly on the outside, and around the trunk there will be fewer leaves because less light will come through. And if you want to make a realistic tree, it's good to keep those things in mind. I think trees have a lot of detail that most people don't know, but if the trees don't have this detail, something will feel off about it. So there are lots of things that feel right. So how I make the leaves is I make them go down a bit, just like we do with the branches. So the branches, they function as the sort of guide that really help us place the leaves. So we just want to create it, make it a bit full, make it look interesting. Some leaves here. It's also important to leave some air. You don't want to cover up all your branches that you worked hard on. Let's not put one there. Can also use these hanging fences. So I think that looks good. Then let's just do this for all the 4 branches here. And then yeah, I'll make another cut. Then you can look at the finished result. Again, just follow the fences, follow the branches that you already made, and at the end just go down a bit more and go out and try to really fill it in a bit. You might add a branch here, but I don't think it's that needed because you can use this branch, and I think in the end result you won't notice this gap this much. So when you place leaves, also destroy some while you're busy. And always leave some air. And also look from a distance. Is this the kind of image you want? So I feel this is a bit too dense. So just remove one there. Move one there. And I add some leaves here. And onto the third branch. I hope this tutorial is that people can follow it. This is my first time using my voice for a YouTube video, so in a way it is a bit uncomfortable. But yeah, I hope people can bear with my voice for a time. Yeah, I think the trees that I made already look cool. So I hope people find this process valuable. Some more leaves here. Some leaves here. Just channel your inner Bob Ross. Just no mistakes, just happy little accidents. Just keep working on it, go back. Don't worry too much about the end result. You can always change it later. So, like I said, I'll just finish these 4 branches. Then I'll go on to the top. And then I'll finish it off camera. So I think these branches look nice, and I think they'll look a lot fuller once you have all the other branches. Like I said, don't be afraid to leave a bit of air. This tree is not like this super full tree. It's it misses quite some leaves. I mean, you can see the branches quite clearly in the actual tree. But let's just do the top, because that's very important for the general shape. Just leave a bit, put a bit more there. like I said, this is not a spruce tree, so it's quite a bit wider at the top than a spruce tree would be, even though they're both conifers, which is a fancy name for a tree with needle-like leaves. Okay, so I hope this was useful, how I placed the leaves. So now I'm going to place the rest of the leaves off camera or in a time lapse, and then I'll see you all later. Welcome back, and now we've added the leaves, made it more full. I hope people could follow it. Last thing you do is you just go around, see if I like it, watch it from different angles. I think it came out nice. I hope people could follow it and that people enjoyed it. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope to continue this series in the future with other trees. Okay, bye bye.